Hello, Internet. This is round 3 of the London Regional, and I am playing against Foodking. Now, I don't really know what to expect here because Foodking has improved a lot in the last year or so, I would say. He has actually just won his first ever Premier Challenge as well, so I'm quite happy for him to do that. But he's obviously 2-0 so far in this tournament, so I didn't really know what to expect. And looking at the team preview, I see a really sort of solid anti-metagamey sort of team that he's got here. So I really am not sure how this is going to go, but let's see. Now, Blaziken, this is the first time I laid with Blaziken in this tournament so far, and it is really not a good lead for me at all. But Azumarill is sitting here quite nicely. I'm thinking, well, I can just get a belly drum off here, surely. Can't I? I mean, he could Scald Burn me. I could worry about that. In the last game you saw, I played against an Energy Ball Cresselia as well. So, I mean, maybe he could skill swap me as well, I don't know. But I thought because Blaziken was so threatened here, he might want to ignore it. Blaziken can hardly do either, anything to really both of his targets anyway. So he might want to target my Azumarill with a Scald and a Psychic. Because that's, 2 attacks is doing a good chunk, and there's the burn chance as well. So I do withdraw Blaziken, and I play it a little bit safer than, hindsight would enjoy, really. I do protect the Azumarill there. He Scalds the Blaziken, goes into my Dry Skin, obviously does nothing, and he Psychics the Blaziken as well. So he was really going after my Blaziken there, and it takes Parasect down to a little bit more. Now, that is kind of annoying, because, I could have Belly Drum there, and the game would have been a lot easier for me to manage. I could have gone for like Rage Powders and Play Roughs and stuff like that now. And I've got my Parasect in here, and Azumarill that still needs to Belly Drum to really be effective. Now, this is one of the things that I suppose Amoonguss does better than Parasect, and that is take hits. This Parasect has got, let's see how much. It's got 101 HP left, so it's got, like 2/3 HP left. I'm thinking that it can survive an Ice Beam, and unless he double targets me, I am putting something to sleep. If he does double target me, then he hasn't touched my Azumarill, and I've got a free Belly Drum off. That was my thought process here. But as we're seeing, he's going for the Ice Beam, hits the Parasect, and he gets a critical hit here. Now, that is kind of annoying. If his Milotic is modest max special attack, that didn't matter, it would have knocked me out. But if he was a bit bulkier, if he wasn't max special attack, then I really could have survived that. So, again, a really frustrating turn. Parasect going down. It does mean that he gets a Psychic off into my Azumarill, which will start whittling it down as well. But I do get my Belly Drum off here. But, these first 2 turns have not gone very well at all, because I have not damaged either of his Pokemon. I've not damaged anything on his side, and I've taken, 160% really from my team. So I really need to start doing something now, really do. And I'm thinking, at this point, I don't know what I can do. I feel like there's a good chance I've lost this game at this point, and obviously I'm not happy. I bring in Tyranitar because, it threatens a Cresselia. With a Rock Slide or a Crunch, it can do a lot of damage to my Milotic as well. I can, maybe start Dragon Dancing up if I feel like I've got the opportunity to. I only really have to fear a Scald Burn from the Tyranitar. I have got my Azumarill here at +6 as well, so it really is drawing attention towards it. So let's get the Sandstorm up, which is going to be whittling away at my own Azumarill as well, annoyingly. And Mega Evolve. This is the first showing of Mega Tyranitar, I think, in this tournament so far, isn't it? Here it is, the glorious beast that it is. And I protect the Azumarill, hoping that he's going to double target into that slot, because that is the slot that is really offering the real pressure on him. So I protect, and I go for a Rock Slide, because as well, if he does target my Tyranitar, there is the flinch chances as well. It's nice to flinch your opponent. I get a critical hit on the Milotic there as well, which does help. Neither of his Pokemon flinch, but he does double target into the Azumarill there, which is good. I'm relieved, because it means that I'm slowly beginning to, crawl my way back into this, I suppose. I mean, this is why I like Tyranitar as well, especially if you're faster. Anything really with Rock Slide. I like Terrakion, I like Aerodactyl, I like rocks, falling rocks, because you can flinch your opponent, and that is obviously, it gives you so much more freedom. But the next turn, because of that critical hit on the Rock Slide on his Milotic, I'm thinking that an Aqua Jet and another Rock Slide is going to knock it out. And the Milotic really is the thing that's threatening both of my Pokemon here with the burns from the Scald. So I do get the Aqua Jet, I do hit my Rock Slide, get some nice damage onto this Cresselia as well. Obviously, you know, there's always the flinch chance, and it flinches. So I'm pretty certain that he was just going to go for a Psychic on the Azumarill in that turn, but it would have brought it down to very low at this point, only a couple more sand turns. Now, in comes this Scrafty, and I was wary about this because I think it, basically at this point in the game, it comes down to, is my Azumarill faster than the Scrafty or not? Because Scrafty is naturally faster, but my Azumarill, which has been, people have, Zog, I'm looking at you, have speed creeped quite a number of times. This was originally designed to outspeed Scrafty to protect my Tyranitar, because this is kind of based on the VGC 14 team that I had as well. So I'm hoping and half expecting my Azumarill to be faster than the Scrafty. Still doesn't mean the game is won, because there is potential fake out pressure, although I had been told that this Scrafty was banded before the game. Well, he gets the Intimidate off. Let's see what happens. So, -1 Tyranitar and +5 Azumarill. I withdraw the Tyranitar, probably expecting a Drain Punch, I guess, and he withdraws his Scrafty. So, maybe what he was doing this turn was he was expecting me to know that he was banded, so that I was not, fearing a fake out. I could go straight for the Play Rough onto this Scrafty slot, because what he does is he withdraws the Scrafty into his Ferrothorn, which I think is quite a smart move, using a potential bit of information that I had against me there. But I protect the Azumarill. I'm playing it kind of safe. He Psychics into it, and if he did stay in and Drain Punch the Blaziken, then it would have survived. I would have been threatening it with a Superpower as well, and threatening the Cresselia with at least an Aqua Jet or something as well. But because he did bring the Ferrothorn in, I'm actually sitting in a pretty decent position now, because obviously Ferrothorn does not, cannot do anything really to the Blaziken, and I can just one-shot it with Overheat. Now, so this turn is really important coming up, because here's all the Sandstorm damage and everything. Here's the Citrus Berry, which I was kind of hoping not to see, but it does have the Citrus Berry, which puts it up to, like 75%. Now, this really is a really key turn of the game. I'm expecting his Ferrothorn to protect, because it doesn't want to get knocked out by the Overheat. His Ferrothorn can deal with my Tyranitar and my Azumarill, so as long as he protects his Ferrothorn and knocks out my Blaziken, then he has won the game, pretty much. That's what I'm thinking. So he has to protect that slot, and I have to get rid of this Cresselia. So I'm thinking a combination of attacks between Azumarill and Blaziken will knock out this Cresselia. He does go for the Protect on Ferrothorn, so I'm really, really glad that I predicted that nicely. I go for the Aqua Jet onto the Cresselia here, which brings it down to, 10%, whatever. And I go for the Overheat on the Cresselia, thinking that, well, okay, I'll knock it out. I'll definitely knock it out with an Aqua Jet and an Overheat. Even at -2, it is, and the Life Orb, it is going to knock out this Ferrothorn. So as long as I hit this Overheat, I'm quite happy now. I feel like I've won the game. But my Overheat misses, and he gets the Psychic off onto my Blaziken and knocks me out. Now, that is very annoying. Annoying because I missed the Overheat, annoying because I predicted that turn rightly, but also annoying because I was weighing up in my head going for an Aqua Jet and a Superpower onto the Cresselia exactly for that reason, for the accuracy. But I just wasn't that confident in my head that a Superpower would have picked it off at that range. Looking at that, that 10, 11, 12% that the Cresselia was on, I'm pretty sure a Life Orb, Neutral, Overheat, Superpower rather, would have knocked it out from this. So I'm really, really kicking myself. And at this point, as far as I'm concerned, I've lost the game. So, goodbye Blaziken. Goodbye Resistance. Goodbye Tournament. Or is it? Well, it should be, really, shouldn't it? But let's see what happens. Because Tyranitar comes in. He withdraws his Ferrothorn. I really don't know why. I'm guessing he just wanted this Intimidate really badly for some reason. He should have left his Ferrothorn in there, but because he did withdraw it, I'm getting, you know, I'm trying to take as much, you know, as many chances as I can do, as many turns that he could potentially play wrong. I need to capitalize on them. So I protect my Azumarill. It is still really important here, and actually go for a Dragon Dance with Tyranitar. I can't remember what I was thinking at the time, but it was probably along the lines of, I know that Tyranitar can survive one attack from Ferrothorn, and at least then I'll be neutral again when Scrafty comes in, and I can do a bit more damage. And a Crunch can potentially do a bit of damage to Ferrothorn as well, if I need it, I guess. Because he did withdraw the Ferrothorn that turn, this turn actually worked out really nicely for me. As nicely as it can be, I suppose. Now, again, this is a really tricky turn, because I know a Rock Slide, if it hits, will knock this Cresselia out. And a combination of Rock Slide and Play Rough, as long as it hits and my Azumarill is faster, because we haven't seen that yet, will knock the Scrafty out. He could withdraw his Scrafty and put the Ferrothorn back in, and then that would knock my... well, I don't think it would knock my Azumarill out to Iron Barbs, but I don't know if it's got Rocky Helmet or not, so I guess in my head it has got a Rocky Helmet, and the combination of those two will knock the Azumarill out, but as it turns out it doesn't. But I go for the Rock Slide, because if he does keep the Scrafty in, at least I've got the flinch chance as well. And if he does withdraw and put the Ferrothorn in, then at least I'm getting a bit of chip damage onto that as well. So I go for the Rock Slide. It does thankfully connect on the Cresselia, and it knocks it out. Does a bit of damage to the Scrafty. And my Azumarill is faster, and I actually hit the Scrafty. And I knock it out. So I'm actually managing to claw my way back into this game. Let's have a look at Azumarill's HP. Azumarill's HP, please. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure. I know that if it hasn't got Rocky Helmet, then I can attack it twice with Azumarill. If it hasn't got Rocky Helmet, just the Iron Barbs, then yeah, I'm saying this right. And without the Rocky Helmet and attack, I can attack it twice. If he doesn't have Rocky Helmet, then... Well, hang on, no. I'm getting all confused in my old age. I can attack it twice if it doesn't have the Rocky Helmet. Is that what I've been saying? Am I going slightly crazy here? You know what I mean, don't you? If he has got the Rocky Helmet, Azumarill will go down in one hit. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I've got a neutral Tyranitar, Mega Tyranitar, and I've got, what, a +5, I think, Azumarill. And I'm just hoping here that a Crunch and a Play Rough will knock this Ferrothorn out. If I Crunch it as well, I've got that... you know, 10-20% chance, whatever it is, of the defense drop, which should put it in range of the Play Rough. I was kind of debating going for a Rock Slide as well, thinking I might need to get a Rock Slide flinch, but I just go straight for the attacks. I get the Crunch. I have got 2 chances of getting a critical hit here as well, after all. Here's the Iron Barbs, no Rocky Helmet. My Play Rough does hit, and it doesn't knock the Ferrothorn out. Now, yeah, so this is what I've been faffing on about for the last minute. Azumarill, it survived the Iron Barbs. If he did have Rocky Helmet, then I couldn't have attacked it a second time. So apologies for not getting that out of my mouth. But I'm thinking at this point, you know, at this very point, I'm thinking that I've won the game because, well, yeah, I am. Because Tyranitar, I know, I'm pretty sure, I mean, this Mega Tyranitar is really bulky, and I've got a fair bit of bulk in this Tyranitar as well. So... I'm pretty sure that I can survive a Power Whip or a Gyro Ball, you know, besides a critical hit. He goes for a Power Whip here, and he misses. Now, that's unfortunate for him. I suppose we'll never really know if it would have knocked me out or not, you know, depending on the RNG, because actually, he did tell me afterwards that his Ferrothorn had a Life Orb, of all items. Apparently he had a Life Orb, and doing the calculations... that Power Whip did have a chance to knock out my Tyranitar. So, you know, I suppose there was quite a bit of luck back and forth in this game. Really frustrating first 2 turns, but I did manage to, you know, thankfully claw my way back into this. But it all came down to that turn where I overheated the Cresselia and aquajetted it, and that overheat missed. If I hit that overheat, the Cresselia would have gone down. The next turn I could have overheated the... Ferrothorn and just Play with the Scrafty, and it would have just been over then. The only thing I'm really kicking myself about, and I'm not kicking myself too hard here, is just not knowing that calculation of a what, +5 Aquajet and a superpower onto Cresselia. Because if I had gone for the superpower, then I should have just, won it without all of this stress. But that's it. That is round 3 done. 3-0 in this tournament so far, so going really well. 3 wins, no losses. I'm pretty happy with this team. At the moment, I am. I mean, you can't be unhappy with the team that you win with, can you? Really? But that's round 3. Thanks a lot for watching this, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the tournament. So thanks a lot. Please like it and share it if you have done, and goodbye for now.